Hi, everyone. This is Charles Hoskinson broadcasting live from warm, sunny Colorado. Always warm, always sunny. Sometimes Colorado. Back again for another video, this time on crypto Kayfabe. Kayfabe. What the hell is that? Well, when I was growing up, I grew up in Hawaii, and we had two things on television that weren't related to Nick at Night or these things. So when I was a kid, I watched I Dream of Jeannie and Lost in Space and Bewitched and a little bit of TJ Hooker. I was like the one guy who liked that show outside of William Shatner. Although I don't even know if William Shatner really liked TJ Hooker. And it was wrestling and sumo. Now in wrestling, we had all the legends from the 80s. You had Macho Man Randy Savage. You had the Hulk. You had Jake the Snake. You had Andre the Giant. There were some really compelling and interesting characters there. And kayfabe was all about the capacity to stay in character perpetually. Every interview, every action, every activity, you are the Hulk. You are Macho Man. You could be at a restaurant, snap instantly into character the minute someone approaches you, wants an autograph, wants to talk to you. That was the game. It's what made Vince McMahon so incredibly rich. So we have crypto kayfabe in that you see on Twitter, Telegram, Reddit, these things, a professional outrage and drama class that exists. Anything you do, anything you say is engineered in a way that somebody's going to come along and try to create outrage or drama. You see it all the time in engagement farming. And they do this on purpose to create a controversy. They do this on purpose to try to create a contrast so that they can get marketing, visibility, eyeballs, because, the drama, the stories, these types of things, that's what gets you to watch. You see it and you say, oh, what happened there? That train just got derailed. Oh, my. Oh, there's an accident over there. Oh, there's a fight. Who are those people? So we have this Metaverse X thing and Cardano. So what's really crazy is how it turned into their ecosystem. You notice that? My issue was with this poll that came out that the foundation, for whatever reason, was syndicating. I'm not sure why. That excluded all the entrepreneurs in the Cardano ecosystem. No Mickey Watkins, no Ben Gortzel. All the Cardano projects and all these things were excluded from the poll. And when you look at the poll, who won, how things are done, you say, it's like Forbes sponsored content or any of these other things. The intent is to kind of, create some momentum for particular people in anticipation of conference. Does it matter? No. Is it relevant? No. And when you call out a poll like that, is it an attack on a particular project? No, because it's kayfabe. It's not real. But then you notice the outrage class comes in. Oh, this is proof that Charles Hoskinson is toxic. This is proof that we have the better leader. And what are they doing? They're rattling the bell. They're trying to actually create some drama. They're trying to create a movement. They're trying to get people outraged. Oh yeah, let's talk about it on Telegram. Let's talk about it on Reddit. See, I'm leaving. I'm selling all my ADA. Oh my. Oh no. Some guy in an ecosystem on his private Twitter account said something and so that must mean Cardano as a whole endorses it. And that must mean I have to be so outraged. I have to divorce myself completely from this ecosystem because somebody said something about a poll being run for a conference in Dubai. Now, it's absurd, right? But it's the point. It's like it's Macho Man Randy Savage with the cream. He's sitting in the hotel lobby and he notices the bucket of cream. He takes those little packets and that night when he's doing the interview, he's like, the cream floats to the top. You're like, wow, yeah, that guy. I love that guy. And it's fun and it's exciting. It gets us to watch. But does that for a moment divide anybody? Not really. Are you guys really that thin? Maybe there's somebody out there, a special flower, but most people, it's fun, And it seems like that Metaverse X community is absolutely willing to engage. And if you really take the surface layer off of all the pearl clutching, like, oh, he's such a bad leader, Charles. Oh, I'm not taking the bait, kids. I learned my lesson with the XRP side. So if you guys want a Twitter space, if you guys actually want to set something up, I'm more than happy to do it. It would be a lot of fun to learn more about the project and what people are doing. Okay, I accept, challenge accepted. It'll be very nice. The reality is Cardano as an ecosystem is so far beyond these competitive issues. We have Polkadot technology. We collaborate with Algorand on research. We got so many things going on that are cross chain these days. Ergo with Rosenbridge, for example. DC Spark has been an incredible bridge builder. They've done a lot of great work in the Mina ecosystem, for example. It's a big tent, and there's many different bridges and things that come in and out. You don't need to do kayfabe. You don't need to do that to actually get some attention. Let's go beyond that. Let's not do the dance and the whole thing. Let's actually move through. So if you want a Twitter space, we'll do Twitter space. That's fine for what it's worth. And it'll be fun. And we'll see how many people show up. Maybe as many people who voted on that poll. I think you bring the whole community, right? We'll see. But more broadly, though, I think about this a lot because it's related to governance. It's related to how we make decisions, the cadence of making decisions, and the level of depth of discourse required for it. We're incredibly close. I just did a lecture at Google just 2 hours ago, and many of the questions that came up, and I believe it was recorded, so they'll probably post it, were related to governance, because that's a company that works on open source projects for a long time and has created a lot of open source projects. So governance requires good communication. Governance requires a lot of foresight, and governance requires compromise and consent and the ability to be heard and listened to. Super important. And unfortunately, during a bull market in particular, cryptocurrency space tends to be quite shallow, and it tends to have a lot of ebbs and flows. So there's a lot of value in having a stoic core that is unmoving. So I hope in the coming months, as SIP 1694 gets vetted by the stake pool operators, and if they get to 70% and accept it and initiate the fork, that when we look at that, we actually say, okay, do we think we have enough momentum there and insulation there and enough of the core there to be able to deal with the ebbs and flows of the space? I think this is one of the few communities that truly does have that capability. And I think this is truly one of the communities that can inspire and lead the rest in the industry. The things I'm most interested about when I talk cross-chain is what services can we sell to you? What services can you sell to us? What standards can we both agree to follow for the good of the ecosystem? How do we increase liquidity? How do we increase interoperability overall? And also, how do we start creating some common standards as layer ones to protect ourselves against some centralized actors, whether they be asset-backed stable coins or they be exchanges who are quite predatory on most of the layer ones. We have common enemies and common problems. And believe me, there's nobody in layer one land right now that's in a cold sweat saying, gosh, how do I beat chain XYZ? That's not where your problems come from anymore. It comes from a different set of actors who use the fact that they're gatekeepers to control the narrative and the scope of the market. So 95% of the problems we face are the same problems that are faced by every other layer one. And so we have a lot more in common. So actually, when we're physically in a room or a Twitter space, good conversation. It works really well. So I am more than happy to have one. Just go ahead and reach out to Chelsea or JJ, and we'll get something on the books and scheduled. Be a lot of fun. I'd love to learn more about your ecosystem, and hopefully you guys can learn a little bit about our ecosystem and let us set aside the formalities and the kayfabe and get to the collaboration part. How about that? Thank you all. I hope you have a wonderful night. Short one today, but a sweet one. Cheers.